needless to say, it's not looking exactly great for Destiny. But on the bright side, and yes, there is somehow a bright side, well, it has not been looking good for Destiny for literally years at this point. Most people who play Destiny 2 don't even know how the game looks when it looks good, so at least it's not a new feeling that you are currently experiencing. It's kind of same old, same old. But this is exactly what I said will happen. This is exactly what I have been saying for the past 2 years. Destiny 2 and Bungie is effectively dead. And when I say effectively dead, there's a bunch of people who don't understand what this means. No, Bungie's not going to close their doors. No, Bungie's not going to stop existing. But the way that Bungie exists stops. And then there's a new way it exists because all the people with power, all the people who led Bungie that way, and most people below them get fired and replaced. AKA the Sony takeover. I already told you that the final shape is shaping up to be get it shaping up to be an absolute disaster because Destiny 2 had this neat little thing as some kind of pre-order bonus emblems or whatever, and the final shape was underselling goddamn Lightfall. That was the prediction. And I looked at these numbers and I said, wait, this actually checks out. This seems okay. I put my badge of approval on it. And if you do not know, my badge of approval is like 95% accuracy in a lot of different predictions. So that's a big deal, first of all. And then I got proven right once again. And while Destiny 2, the final shape, was a good expansion, people were pretty happy about it, even though it actually was kind of shit and people were coping. The thing is, it undersold roughly more than 50% than expected. So, Bungie opened their cheeks and let Sony in because Sony won, as I predicted a long time ago. Listen, Sony can be one of the worst companies ever. They can be completely inept when it comes to making games, but Sony is going to have people who can figure out the math and say, "Oh yeah, as long as they agree to this number of return on investment, they're not gonna be getting it, and we're gonna get Bungie as per our agreement." And so we are here. The collateral has been given to Sony, and now Bungie is literally Sony's. Well, they Sony owns it. Beautiful, isn't it? And now Destiny has a new expansion that's even underperforming the final shape, which underperformed Lightfall, which underperformed the whole game, which made Destiny die. Here we are, boys. The grand circle is soon to close up on itself.
Did Cross go over the edge of Fate pre-orders being down? Do we have actual numbers on this, or are we just bullshit? Check the emblem numbers. It auto redeems on pre-order, not exactly, but we have all. All right. I'll fucking go read this article.
This is what we used the last time to judge the final shape sales, and it was spot on.
Destiny 2 Edge of Fate pre-orders are down nearly 50% from the final shape, new data shows. All right, this is an article from Zahad. Despite major updates coming with Destiny 2's The Edge of Fate expansion, new fan analysis shows pre-orders are nearly 50% lower than the final shape. Destiny 2's next big expansion, Edge of Fate, is just a few weeks away, launching on July 15, 2025. This expansion...
Dude, what's the point of a new expansion after you say that the game is dead, the game is over, the story's over, and now you're like, Edge of Fate, boys! Edge of Fate! Wait, what is the intended outcome of this?
It kicks off the New Year prophecy and adds some fantastic changes, including the portal, a new gear tiering system, armor stats overhaul, non-linear campaign, and more. This is also the start of Destiny 2's new content delivery structure, with a free major update in between each expansion release. It sounds like a solid step forward on paper, and a lot of longtime players seem genuinely interested in the Edge.
Bro, no longtime players are even interested in this. The pre-order numbers show us the real picture, that no one cares. And again, Destiny is one of the most bad games for getting new players because the whole game is literally screaming, "Do not buy me." Are you actually gonna spend $500 on all the expansions? And someone's probably like, "It's not actually $500. It's only 300. Why are you lying?" Because your mom didn't send you to kindergarten, that's why.
Edge of Fate, what Edge of Fate has to offer, but many players feel that the excitement around this expansion doesn't seem to match what we've seen in past years. Now, some new data gives us a clearer picture of just how low engagement might actually be. Destiny 2 Edge of Fate pre-order data shows major drop. Reddit user Testify shared a data-driven comparison between...
I mean, you know what's Destiny's big problem? It's the fact that the stakes always escalate. And the fact that the Destiny 2 ended with the literal destruction of the god, technically. Like, how are we escalating things again?
Between pre-orders for Edge of Fate and the final shape earlier today, using publicly available stats from Warmind.io, a popular Destiny 2 stat tracking site. While not official numbers from Bungie, the data offers one of the clearest glimpses at pre-order trends we've got right now. To track pre-order numbers, Testify looked at the number of Destiny 2 accounts that have unlocked the unique pre-order emblems tied to each expansion external sites, Edge of Fate, and Paracausal Path for the final shape. Because these emblems are tied directly to purchasing the expansions, they work as a fairly consistent way to monitor pre-order interest over time. The Reddit user automated this tracking process and has been collecting data daily since March 2024, storing it in a database. All right, so let's see. So we got Edge of Fate percentage of the final shape, projection, okay, the actual sites right here, and then this was Paracausal Path. The comparison focuses on matching timelines, meaning it...
Wait, the hell? Destiny 2 pre-order comparison. Edge of Fate versus the final shape. Externals, sites, pot, blah, 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 projections. What the hell are you putting in projections? Does the projection just magically start here or some shit? Oh no, the projection is this line. Okay. That's why I never trust analyst projections, because when people... First of all, people don't even understand what I mean when I say the projection is literally x+1, which it is. Because explaining that is too complicated and too simple at the same time, and people still don't understand it. But you need to understand it. This projection... I never trust projections because they are literally x+1. That's the math behind them. Anyone can do it. It's so dumb.
The comparison focuses on matching timelines, meaning it compares where Edge of Fate is now about 3 weeks before launch to where Final Shape was at the same point before its release. The results aren't great. Edge of Fate is currently sitting at about 53% of the Final Shape's pre-order count at the same point in time, and if this pace holds, it could finish with nearly 1 million fewer player purchases than the Final Shape. Now here's a summary.
I mean, we 1 million doesn't seem a lot, right? The numbers being thrown around here and there constantly, and it seems like not a lot in gaming, but 1 million is a lot. 1 million is actually a lot, okay? 1 million is like 1/10. Actually, I have no idea how much a final shape costs to make, or how much this expansion costs to make. I have never heard any numbers, but I'm gonna easily assume that it's roughly close to 200 to 300 million. Just a blind estimate. Maybe someone can timestamp this in the comments and tell me exactly how much if there are actual numbers for this. But, you know, that's my estimate.
What the analysis shows. Edge of Fate pre-orders are 47% lower than the final shape at the same point pre-launch.
Devastating.
If trend continues, Edge of Fate is on track for around 1.1 million purchases compared to 2.
Like, why would it stop though? Why would it stop?
0.1 million for the final shape in its first month. The percentage comparison is currently 53%, is updated daily to show Edge of Fate is pacing against the final shape. The analysis automated that this tracking process and has been collecting data since March 2024. Okay. Of course, this isn't a perfect one-to-one representation of Bungie's actual sell numbers. Emblem unlocks may not capture every purchase, and players may not have acquired the emblems from the special delivery kiosk yet. Even if it's not official sales data, it's still one of the better ways we have to see how interested Destiny 2 players are in the new expansion.
I mean, again, I looked at this and I evaluated how accurate this is, and this is pretty much probably worst case scenario a 20% off, and that's very good actually. That is extremely good. 20%. Wrong in each direction is an actually amazingly high good estimate, as strange as that may sound.
And there are a few reasons why Edge of Fate might not be generating the same kind of momentum. The final shape was the end of a massive 10-year storyline, a finale that players have been waiting for years. It carried a sense of closure and payoff that naturally drew more attention. In contrast, Edge of Fate is the start of a brand new saga. And while that's exciting in theory, it doesn't come with the same weight or urgency. On top of that, it's a smaller expansion by design, closer in scope to something like Rise of Iron, which might make it feel less essential compared to previous releases. And of course, there's the bigger picture. Trust in Bungie has taken a hit over the past year or so, especially after the major layoffs, the cancellation
Only the past year or so, eh? Only.
the projects, and the absence of any sign that Destiny 3, which many players were hoping for, is even in development. All right, so Destiny 2 Edge of Fate's weekly sales on Steam. If you need more signs that Edge of Fate might be underperforming, just look at Steam weekly top sellers list between April 9th and May the 7th, 2024, as well as the following weeks up until the launch of the final shape. Destiny 2 showed up in Steam's top 20 best-selling games every single week. Now, comparing that to the same window for Edge of Fate from May 20th to June 24th, the game hasn't made the top 20 at all. Damn. Just last week, Destiny 2 was sitting all the way down at number 65 on Steam's weekly top sellers list. It's a pretty noticeable drop. Just this week, Bungie held a developer live stream for Edge of Fate, where it went over pretty much all the same things already revealed during the preview events and content creator coverage, except for a thing or two, new weapon type, that led to a lot of backlash from fans who were expecting new information and reveals. Are you excited for Edge of Fate, or do you feel like something's missing compared to past expansions? Let us know your thoughts. How you guys feel?
I'm not super surprised.
Underselling. Is that right? Underselling an expansion that undersold the worst expansion to date. That is not good.
To be honest, here's the thing that I interpret from the data, and yes, it's down and it's about 50%, but I don't think that data factors in that the pre-orders also include content that is Renegades, and so Bungie's going to have an entirely new marketing push just for that expansion as well. So while it's 50% now, it probably won't be that low compared to Final Shape by the time it's all said and done. That doesn't mean it's
Yeah, I call BS on this. This is just crack copium, okay?
going to meet Final Shape by any means, but there's two waves of marketing here, not just.
Look, if we woke up tomorrow and we were doing 50% of what we were doing last year, how would we feel?
Oh no, 50% is definitely worse. I don't disagree that
Definitely
50% is
worse,
concerning,
boys.
and yeah, we should be concerned, like as a whole, about it.
I would literally have to lay off all the mods in here to keep us afloat.
I mean, you guys would only 50% would be one video a day from us.
Yeah, actually, though, there's no way to sugarcoat this, guys. This is concerning. You know what I mean? I don't know necessarily if like Bungie expected this or not. Maybe they did. Maybe they expected Marathon to pull more.
To be fair, this is the thing. Bungie 100% expected this Twitter sales number because, like, that's it. Destiny's done. The final shape did not save Bungie. Everyone knows it. This is confirmed at this point. Like, you can be mad all you want in the comments down below if you feel like it, but that's not going to change the facts. And the facts don't care about your feelings. And the facts are, final shape failed. Bungie's trash. Hello, Sony. Those are the facts. Undeniable, in fact. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. You can't do anything about it. Bungie banked everything on that shit show joke marathon. That's what happened. Bungie literally decided, hey, you know this genderless thing without no stakes, without any fun? Yeah, we're gonna bank everything on that. Hey, you, start stealing art from people all over the internet. Aye, at least that person did his assignment well, okay? He stole a lot. Everyone else, though, sucked.
More weight this year with its drop in September, and maybe that was the big focus, but that's concerning. That's between April and May 7th. So hold on, it says between April and May 7th. I'm curious to know if this has picked up at all since then, because I remember even last year, Final Shape 2, everyone was talking about how the pre-orders were down. Look, yes. You remember that? And then the final it was like the final 2 to 3 weeks leading into Final Shape. That's when the orders started rolling in. But that was when...
Yes, by the way, he's right. But this is already this is already in everything that I'm saying. It doesn't matter. Obviously, we're not looking at the start of the pre-orders. We're looking at the end of the pre-orders. It was still not good enough. Oh boy, it doesn't matter if there's like a push for pre-orders at the end. It's still not enough.
We were hitting Pantheon. We had all the content rollout from Bungie. It was just like the hype train had taken off, and those final 2 to 3 weeks, everything, numbers across the board just swelled. And
Yeah, and then we had 50 articles saying Bungie didn't make it. That's a lot of useless spelling.
then, of course, Prismatic. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I think the closer we've gotten with Edge of Fate, it like the final shape was bolstered by Into the Light. Like I think everyone went out of Into the Light and Pantheon thinking this is the greatest thing ever, and we're ready for what Bungie's about to bring out with the next expansion. Whereas Ride of the Nine has kind of had the opposite effect.
it's not a major concern because Bungie is still making money regardless. So, yes, they would be stressing a little bit. What? Brother, if you're
God, I love these people who are like, oh, if a multi-billion-dollar company that's literally soon going to become a debt slave to Sony loses 50% of its main income, what's the big deal? Genius.
50% less than what you did the previous year. I don't care what line of work, business you may be in. You don't just look at that and go, oh, shit, oh, damn. Okay, well, we're making some money. We're fine. I will say this. No one in their right mind should ever expect one game to pay for 4 or 5 other incubation projects, one of them being a behemoth, that being Marathon. I mean, just
Behemoth of
it's just not
stealing.
feasible. Testify. Thank you for your data, by the way, man. Thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. This is who just brought us this information right here, guys. I won't lie. This is concerning. There's gonna have to be a lot of ground really covered. But I also just feel like people are in a wait and see moment too right now. You know what I mean? I've seen so many comments that are like, I'm just gonna watch. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait and just see what this, because the new destination, not much has been shown about it. New destination.
By the way, while I hate prediction graphs like this because they're bullshit, you can make this for everything and then it doesn't turn out. It's like, yay, okay, who cares? But this is most likely going to be correct. I just want to also point that out. This is most likely going to be correct because there's no reason for it not to be correct at this point. The opinions of people don't change. Nothing has changed in that regard, so there's no X factors to add.
The gameplay loop, no real new activities have really been shown. A lot of sandbox changes have been shown, which great. I mean, good systematic changes. But Luke may be right. This may be a situation where Edge of Fate is all about quality of life, which is not sexy for majority of people and not enough for people to come back and drop a bunch of money on. And it may be something like Renegades that comes along that actually excites people. And I can't stand Star Wars shit. But who knows? Maybe Star Wars might actually be the thing that pushes people into getting back into Destiny.
Slap that like button like your mom.
Not looking good. But who expected that, right? Anyway, that was Odds to Cross 10 out of 10. Bye!